Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about not getting caught with your guard down. Do not get caught with your guard down. You know what I mean? In today's society, it's extremely difficult because you have witches all around you. Almost like a 23-in-1, you know what I mean? It's like even if you living in with them, you still only getting a small split second when you in the bathroom. And to be honest, they probably clocking you while you in there too. But never letting your guard down, not getting caught with your guard down. Like, understanding how huge that is if you are in the Western world, you know what I'm saying? And I just always like emphasizing Western world because you can be in any part of the world and still be connected to the Western world. You know, they implant this machine everywhere. So I was doing a little bit of diving and just kind of processing some of my situations, some people's that's been close to me situations, and then just looking at the overall situations of things. Like, I realized, like, for me, which is hard, like knowing that the next generation is not getting a fair chance. You know what I mean? And I say that to say, like, my daughter has me. You know what I mean? So I'm always there for her. She's not one of them beings that gotta worry about where her daddy is, if she got a daddy, you know, what her daddy doing or up to. Like, she already know all these ins and outs at 7 already, you know what I mean? But she's already understanding to distinguish, you know, the good music, the witchy music from the bad music. Now, she's gonna be able to indulge because she has a whole nother side that's gonna let her do whatever. So it's just my job to guide and teach. And what happened is, because I don't force it, I just guide and teach, she knows the difference between those things. But when I had my niece over recently, it was just, I felt really bad and guilty because it was like, I know my bro is not around doing his part, you know. He one of those beings that is being discussed about. I being a healthy parent in that picture, blah, blah, blah. But I also know that, like her other side has, like, the programming is just, it's all systems guidance, you know what I'm saying? And then it's all sneaky hiding behind the scenes kind of thing. So, like, when I was able to put her process next to an adult's process, it just reminded me so much of how much hiding they do and why it's extremely hard to let your guard down around these beings as they get older. My niece is 9 years old and she already got these tactics down. She already got them down. She already got them down. So it's like, when I think about the beings that's been close to me or that still is close to me, I have to remember how long they've been in that space as well too. She's only 9, you know, it's grown ass people out here that's 30 years old, 25, 40, that's in that space or that's trying to figure out how to maneuver around in that space still or get out of that space. And you have to realize how much work has been put on them. You know, you got, my niece got the system beating the fuck out of her. She got, you know, Chaz, daddy not around, you know, fucking mom's programming her to all the witchy shit, you know what I'm saying? And she a good spirit too, but I can see it in the process of being broken. You know, it's a lot of hiding, a lot of secrets, a lot of not communication or using your throat chakra. It's a lot of all the same tactics. So when I was able to take, like, so in my world, I look at it like, I take like a coloring book. I'll take a coloring book and then I'll take like a novel book and I'll put this coloring book and this novel book together. That's the difference in the generations, you know what I mean, is the novelty and everything that's going on in the process. So, and like, I'm going to turn this a little bit. So like, damn, it's always a catch-22. Y'all already know the process. Um, but being out in the midst of it, right? It's like they've had years on years to be programmed to be extremely selfish, to be extremely witchy, you know, to hide everything, to be extremely secretive, like just all the things that we aren't supposed to be experiencing to the high degree that we do, which is led by the other playbook. So when I get to the topic of just not letting your guard down, you have to understand the drastic changes the beings around you have to go through to actually be able to start taking in the light they're supposed to and stop stealing and absorbing everyone's energy and only dropping off little bits and increments because that's what they want to do. Now, to say they don't have any energy is false because they're still going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep, waking up. You know what I'm saying? If that's how you call the process. But they do have energy. It's just how they choose to give it. So, like, when I'm sitting around some beings, you know, they'll like, you can tell when people are in weird spaces in their spiritual realm. And if you are constantly trying to pull somebody from a weird space, then that means that they're not trying to leave that space. They live in that space. Live. You have to understand the difference between your house where you live at and when you go on vacation to a hotel or to an Airbnb or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you in those other places that you don't live in, after a while, you want to get back to your space. That's how these beings are. That's why it's hard to let your guard down, because you have to understand their living space. You know, so like, yes, they may have it hard, you know, but we all do. We all do. We all do. So, like, at the end of the day, if you're not busting your ass as hard as you can, then I'd advise you not to put your guards down. Do not put them down. You know what I mean? People always feel as if they're silent, that they're not projecting, but you're still projecting an energy. That's how you can walk around certain people and they're not talking, but you can feel their spirit is really lifted, is up. You know what I'm saying? It even make you put your high-pitched voice on. Hey, like, what the fuck? Like, bitch, I don't even say hey. But you know what I mean? Y'all get the drift. You know what I'm saying? Like, them high spirits they're gonna pick you up. You're gonna feel that vibe. And it's the same thing when you got low vibrating shit. You're gonna walk in and it's gonna punch you right in the stomach. And you're gonna be sitting there like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? Then you looking at the only person or whoever's in the room and you're trying to figure out where this vibration is coming from, because you don't like the feel of that shit. You know what I mean? So it's important to understand that, like, these are spaces they live in. Not visiting. It's not temporary. So when we pulled them out of them spaces, that's temporary. That's a vacation for them. You know what I'm saying? That's a holiday break for them. Pulling them out of that space. Like I used to say before, like, if people were to come into my life, like, if I'm super lit in real lifetime, like, yeah, this is my vibes 24/7, but like, I also have to focus my energy at hand on the message, you know what I'm saying, with all this witchy shit just trying to start up while I'm right here. But it's part of the process. So, but it's like understanding, like, you're not gonna be able to get to a safe space to be able to sit it down the way you want to, because it's so much work that has to be done, and it's still a war going on right now. So if you don't know how to distinguish war, fighting, battling, look at it as if you have one really big ass clean spick and span house. Then you have one really shitty, dirty house. You know, I don't care what size you make it. We tend to live in this really clean house over here, and then when we have to visit other places, we can deal with it temporary. I can go pop up to my people's spot and they got roaches. I might not like it, but it's temporary. I don't live in that space. They pop up over here. I done had some buddies that their parents was hoarders. So I could have them come over to this space, and this space is fun, but it's still uncomfortable because it's not their comfortability space. So even if they want to change it, they're still so comfortable in that space that's a whole nother battle within itself to create that separation. It's a lot of years living in that space. And then you have these same beings out here working jobs with authority and shit. Like, shit be weird as fuck. And then you gotta kind of give them that authority in the matrix, you know? Because it's like playing Monopoly. You have to abide by the rules. Like, figure out the rules and you learn how to put your own sauce and drip on it. It's no different than when you work a job that don't come with benefits, but then you create benefits there at the plantation. You know what I'm saying? I hate calling them jobs. They are plantations. You know what I mean? So just be mindful. If it's not huge steps taken every day, you're gonna have to keep that guard up. You know, because people can be silent all day, every day. You know, and people could pretend to blabber out affirmations and all this shit every day, but the energy doesn't lie. The energy does not lie. I don't know how many motherfuckers I've been around trying to blabber out some affirmations and their energy is saying the opposite. If that's a battle you fighting to be in that space, cool. More kudos to you, more power to you. But usually it's just some kind of weapon used to mask the other shit, and it's kind of used to shut you up or to kind of show that they got a little bit of intelligence, which I don't really care if you do, because even if you do, you're using it for evil, ill intentions or just solely selfish intentions. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a society where you have to be selfless, in a society where we're being programmed to be selfish, you know? So it's a difference between learning yourself, your energy, your vessel, you know, everything about you. Psychology. This is psychology 101. You don't need to go to some matrix school to get a piece of paper to tell you, hey, you can study human behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But hey, we with beings every day. You should be doing that already. That's what makes sense to me. I mean, you study movies and TV shows. That's why you still watching them and liking them. You study sports. That's why you still watching them. Like, it's a lot of things. You know, you may not use the concept as studying, but you picked out a lot of things that you like. You enjoyed it and you stayed in that space. You know what I mean? So understanding the difference between, you know, just knowing that you're going to have to keep your guard up. You're going to have to keep your guard up. And yeah, you will get tired. You will get a little burnt out. You will be a little fried. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with that is, it's like, I done been in a lot of fights. So long as you know where their energy balance is at, if you got a counter ready, it's all right if you take a hit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that hit isn't going to crush you. You may feel the hit, but you already prepared for it and you ready for the counter. You know what I mean? But keep your guards up. You know what I'm saying? We in the Western world. Anybody out there in the Western world, I don't give a fuck where you are connected to this ish that we all in the mix of. You know what I mean? So just keep your guards up, be ready at all times. You know what I'm saying? We constantly self-aware and trying to grow, heal, reach as many people as possible. So if we got other people that's around us or that we're meeting and engaging with that saying that they want to, they gonna have to prove that they trying to, because if not, it's wartime. You have to get your ass over there or you gonna get the vibe with me. And best believe, if you vibing with me, you got a full warrior. Like, I don't give we spiritual beings, so at any time in my spiritual world, I knew I'm gonna have to get up out of here. We all do. So you push me to the brinks to point my, you know, prove my point where I get to stand solid and make my exit. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, I'm ready for all the smoke. I'm trying to tell you, I'm living light now, you know what I'm saying? And I still got a lot of shit I'm going through as of right now. As of right this minute, right this second. And I still get up and I smile and I put this energy out, and it's still genuine. It's still genuine and organic, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never put my weapons on nobody that didn't need them. tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.